This is Sean with Gate City Foundation Drainage. We are on a job today in Summerfield. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So there is a huge amount of water that comes flowing off from these properties back here and flows all the way across here. And what it's doing is it's just completely washing away this yard. So all these areas where there's dips right here, the customer is saying this used to be all flat. Right here as well, this used to be flat and it's just washing away. And so what happens is the water washes down here, smashes into the patio, and then heads on down to where my pickup truck is sitting back there. And then you can see where it's washing away along the patio as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to rework some of these swales they've got. So somebody's been in here before making these humps and swales, and they're just not working. So we're going to try to send the water down around through the trees and down to that low area where the dump truck is sitting. There's not really a good drainage ditch here, and so the customer is saying that the water washes down all through here, smashes into the patio, and then washes to where the truck is. And so, you know, talked to the homeowner and said, okay, if we cut the swale, the water's still going to be down there. So it's kind of like, do you send the water directly down there and it kind of hangs, or do you let it wash out your yard and then it still hangs? So we're going to be doing that today, getting this swale cut. So I've got the Caterpillar here today, and I've also got a Harley rake for this. So you guys haven't seen that one yet. It's sitting over there. Take a look at this picture that the homeowner sent me. So the water is basically just coming down right across here. It's coming from this property, and it's coming from this property back here. And what happens is it basically washes across here. And you can see here, same kind of thing. It just comes along this path right here, comes down through here, and you can see where it's washing away all these roots and everything else. The water then comes, washes across here. This area here is low. There's a bunch of soil that's been eroded away from there. And basically it ends up right down in here. It smashes into this patio area here. So it comes along here and smashes in here, and then it bounces and goes across to the drainage, the lower drainage area over there. And so there's another picture. You can see where it comes across here, hits the patio, and then goes down. I brought in a bunch of dirt right here. The customer says that he likes to hang out back here under the trees and drink beer. So we wanted a flat area right here. So let's see if we can get that done for him. I think I've pretty much got my swale, and so I'm just switching from the bucket to the Harley rake. So before I did that, I wanted you to take a look. So we've got a pretty aggressive swale going down through here. I tried to keep it on this side too because it kind of flattens out over here. We hit a stump right here, so I came over to this side a little bit. And this area right here, the homeowner said he wanted this a little bit flattened. So we got that done too. I think that looks pretty good. We are finished with this job, so let's take a look. We got our swale cut across here. So the customer's saying there's a bunch of water that comes from over here and down, and water that comes from over here, and it just washes and just straight at their patio. So now we've got our swale here. This area was all sunken in, and originally the homeowner said just pile the dirt like right here, just a big pile of dirt, but when we're here we might as well spread it around. So we didn't have enough straw because we did a bunch of extra spreading. The customer was more than happy to buy a couple bales on his own and finish strawing it for us. So we built this up for him, so he likes to hang out back here in the shade. We got our swale going down through here. We hit an old stump right there, so I had to kind of meander it. And then this flattened out right here, so we couldn't really come down too far because then we were going to lose all our fall. So I tried to angle it a little bit, so you can see that it's angled a little bit off camber to the high side to keep it in the trench. And we're heading on down the way here. So there's not really a good place in this yard that water goes. It just kind of hangs out by those trees and then eventually goes away. And so I was a little bit worried about that with the customer saying, okay, you know, we're going to be sending a bunch of water this way. It's not going to go anywhere. But he said it eventually made its way down there. It just washed across his patio and everything else before it got down there. So we're just sending it straight down there. We regraded around the patio here, and he was excited to get that finished because all that new concrete was being exposed. So we got that all regraded. And originally we only included doing this grading and this over here. So that's why we ran out of straw. But this was also had washed away, so we filled this back in. The customer sent me this video right after a really big rainstorm, and you can see here that the water is definitely staying in the swale and it's flowing down. So take a look at that water there. This was a really low quality clip. I wasn't able to get the higher quality clip. But here you can see, looking down, the water is staying in the swale, staying away from the house, and making its way down like we wanted it to. So the homeowner is really happy. He doesn't have all that water washing away against the patio and then against the house anymore. Here's a picture of the side of the patio that the customer sent me, and you can see that there's a little bit of water there from the rain, but what you're not having is that washing river of water slamming into the patio and carrying all the dirt away.